Okay, so any idea you have on why you can't just film something is invalid. The reason I'm saying that is I'm about to record all the questions for a mockumentary right here. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not feeling that good today. My tailbone's all jacked up. It even hurts just sitting here, to be completely honest with you. But even with all that going on, just gonna get this done real quick. I think I have about 30 questions, something like that. Two sheets, if I can separate them. Not two full sheets, but two sheets. See, there you go. So I'm just gonna pretend to be this person. This whole thing is based off of a guy that is ex-CIA. He's a whistleblower, and he's done tons and tons of interviews and stuff like that. And he kind of seems like John Lovett's liar character. Yeah, that's a ticket. Like everything he says just seems like he's lying. So, I mean, ex-CIA can be expected. That's, the answers that you want, you aren't going to get anyway. So, but that's the whole idea. I got some others too that I can do, but just to show you how easy it is. Okay, I'm going to walk away, walk back. That's going to basically be the beginning of filming for this. I'm going to use this whole thing to edit anyway, so. Ow. My camera. I'm gonna move this to my lap, make it easier. So I'm just gonna redo this. Can I pick these up without these being seen? Yes, I can. All right, perfect. Redo that then real quick. Oh. I was with the CIA for 10 years. It was an alright job. I mean, there's a lot of travel. There was some dangerous situations. I love dangerous situations, so that's not hard. A little bit of a thrill seeker here and there. So it was definitely a part of the job. But yeah, I was with them for about 10 years. Yeah, I was the head of the FBI and the CIA at the same time. Now, normally they wouldn't allow that and everything else, but I told them if they didn't, I was going to quit. And they liked me so much, they were going to never let me quit. Even though that they've sued me and put me in jail once and everything like that, I know that if I said that I'd come back, they'd take me right here and now. So, it's just one of those situations where have you ever had an ex that likes you too much and due to them liking you too much, they make your life miserable? Yeah, that's what the CIA and FBI both are. I mean, they both wanted to make me president, but they knew that they couldn't do that. It would just be too obvious. I'm both their favorites, so what you gonna do? I mean, I was stationed all over the place. I was stationed in Ireland a little while, and that was a bit of fun, but it's not that I don't like to drink. There's a drinking culture, everyone knows that. It's not that I don't like to drink. Here's the problem. I like the taste more than the fact. And a lot of people drink to get drunk. You think I drink bottom shelf whiskey because I want to get drunk? No, it's because I like the taste. I mean, my parents were really messed up. They used to torture me and everything. Well, I wouldn't call it torture. They made me grow up fast. I mean, giving me a little bit of kerosene to drink each night, stuff like that. Stuff to toughen you up. I mean, my parents had a hard life, and of course they did. I mean, everyone in their generation did, but yeah, it's just that there's a lot going on. I'd rather not get into it. I mean, I could tell you everything that there's ever been with that situation and everything else, and how I didn't know that you could stand on the board on the water until I was in my 20s because I believed waterboarding was just what happened before you went to bed. But, you know, yeah, I'm stationed all over the place, though. I mean, there was Ireland, there was Scotland, Wales. The people aren't as fat as what the name sounds like. It was kind of a disappointment. But a little bit of time in China and Japan. I mean, those countries are okay. It's harder to kind of, you know, the roles that they have you play are always different everywhere. Over there, it's pretty much criminal looking for some kind of connection. You know what I'm saying? So that's not always the case, but in Asia, that was the case a lot of times. Oh, well, I haven't had to kill anybody, but I have killed a bunch of people. Now, a lot of people think CIA is just you sneak around, you kill people, you kidnap them, you torture them, you get information from them, you use them as assets. But that's not the case. I mean, sometimes you just do stuff for entertainment. I mean, I am a champion racer for my unit. You know what I'm saying? So we used to kidnap people and then act as jockeys. Now they weren't on all fours; they were carrying us. It was piggyback, so it was classy. But you know, you do what you got to do to pass the time because there's so much attention all the time, and they teach you all these skills if you don't have them already about how to just basically do whatever you want. So you know, it's like a giant spring break for real. So yeah, it's definitely something different. Well, when I was growing up, they'd have ads in the back of magazines. Now, I'm not saying like, hey, join the CIA, but I sent away for a pair of X-ray glasses, and next thing I know, in the mail, I get a contract to join with the CIA. Now, normally, I wouldn't jump on it. I'd be more skeptical, but it just seemed right, and I needed a change in my life. You know what I'm saying? So it seemed like a good thing, and come to find out, I didn't get the X-ray glasses, but I did get thrown in the back of a van and taken to training. So it was definitely fun. It was definitely different, and I'll never forget some of those friendships I made. Not that I know any of their names because, well, that was one of the things we couldn't tell each other our names. But yeah, oh, it was easy to turn people to my side. I mean, that's a lot of what CIA and stuff is gaining confidence. And the thing is, if you just find people that are easily amused, it's easy to turn them. So all I did is I learned a few magic tricks, and I go around and ask who's the slowest person in the area. Sometimes it wasn't even magic tricks. Sometimes it was just jangling keys. And if they thought you made enough money to own a home or rent a car, guess what? They follow you to the ends of the earth. So that's really what it was. It's not proving that you have information on people. It's just a lot of really easier than it sounds manipulation. And manipulation is just, I know how to do something you don't know how to do. If you're really, really good, I'll teach you. Yeah, I never taught him anything. The James Bond stuff really doesn't exist. I mean, everyone likes forward to the idea of it, but now you have as much technology in your pocket as what I ever carried. You have more than what I ever carried because usually you didn't want to be caught with anything on you. You know, people are thinking, oh, this is an exploding thing, this is that, this is a quick way to get away. No, you should never have to use anything like that. So, you know, people think, oh, that car shoots oil. No, it leaks. It's not that they were giving you this great equipment, it's that they were giving you bad equipment and you had to be smart enough to use it to your advantage. That's all it is. People think, oh, they have all this budget. Sure, they do, but Are they really going to spend it on you? No. Yeah, I was sued by the government, and, they won technically, but they said I blew a whistle on them that hurt a lot of people's operations and everything else. Just what they were doing to people, I just couldn't get behind it. I mean, even though I'm the one that came up with it and spearheaded it and pitched to the government and all that, you know what? They really shouldn't listen to what I say over a heavy drinking weekend. And, now, nobody died, but they're suing for embarrassment. And really, I'm the one that should be embarrassed. I mean, we lost, and it was due to my coaching. And normally I never say that, but the platoon that we had, well, I call them a platoon, it was more of a team than anything. The thing is, it wasn't even. There's just so many problems there. I don't want to get into it. It's going to reopen. They're going to sue me again. They cheated. They had Canadians. That's all I got to say. Oh, the reason I'm not in prison, that's pretty easy. I did my time, but they realized that they couldn't hold me because a lot of the stuff that they were saying was lies, even though I couldn't prove it, the judge couldn't prove it, and the jury couldn't prove it. We all knew it. And, I got in touch with a lawyer. Now, normally they say you want to hire the best one that you can. Well, I just hired one that I found on a, billboard. And the thing is, they have to work the hardest. So, why am I going to spend more money when I can spend less and have somebody that's really going to fight for me? So yeah, I did blow the whistle. Now people are gonna say that that's a bad thing. That's a good thing. But I only blew the whistle on stuff that I was doing. Now some people call it bragging, and honestly, I don't understand why any company would fire you for you bragging about doing the great job that you're doing. I mean, I'm the first person that I know of where two countries actually got married. It's not like, oh, they got married to consolidate power or anything like that. But Uruguay and Guam, whoever thought that they'd get along as well as they do, and now they're kind of seen as the power couple. I mean, they're both ran by men, so it's kind of a gay marriage, which I think is probably the reason people have a problem with it, but they've been going for a long time, and I mean, there's not going to be any kids from it because there can't be because, two nations being married and all that, but, I've done some good things. So, yeah, but well, you shouldn't be able to get in trouble for gloating. People do it in music and stuff all the time. Look at how great I am. I mean, that's all social media is. And I just did it in person using a blowhorn in front of CNN. I mean, I don't really get what the thing is. I could put it online and they would have had it just as fast. But you want to get me in trouble for saying how great I am and how great this country is and how great the CIA is? Yeah, I just don't understand. And the people that I put away, and everything else that I was locked up with, they saw it the same way. I mean, we were all great friends. I mean, we are now. We became great friends shortly after I, got locked up and all that, but they realized the error of my ways and, well, of their ways more than mine. My ways is what got them locked up. The error of their ways is what got them locked up. The error of my ways was just thinking that me being as great as I am and doing everything I've done and, that they wouldn't get all mad, but it's like a jealous ex. Oh, Ted. Ted was my trainer, and he was a decent enough guy. I mean, besides knocking me in the head, throwing me in the van, not giving me food or water, releasing dogs on me, asking me where I'm from. every day, all day, the electric shock and all that. And I mean, I get that's part of the course, but he seemed to enjoy it just a little bit too much. And that's all right. I mean, it's good to love your job and all, but he's still a good guy. I'm sure that if he came around, we'd still talk and everything. It wouldn't be a problem, but yeah. So Uncle Sam is actually not a fictional person. I don't know if I should be saying this, but it's actually a position. Um, there's Vice President, President, and Uncle Sam. Now, Uncle Sam, that is a secret thing, a private thing. That way, if a, you know, president dies in office or whatever, and then the vice president dies, the real one takes over. That's from the show anyway. But they'll never tell you that. You know what I'm saying? They'll never say, well, if these two die, then Uncle Sam just takes his place that he's been taking all along anyway. Okay, so the Harriet situation undercover. That one's a tough one. It might be when I played a guy that owned a flower shop, but that's because I'm allergic. Me sneezing and stuff all the time, it's hard to keep character. Not that the character was tough, it's just when you're sneezing, your eyes are out and everything else, it's hard to be convincing. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, people always thought Robin Williams was in the CIA, and he wasn't really, but he was used as a weapon at times. It's not because he was somebody that could easily play different characters and all that. It's that if you got him to play them fast, gave him cocaine, that most people would break in 10 minutes. And from there, once they stopped crying and, you know, asking for a lawyer or trying to end their lives, they would give us whatever information we needed. So this was only done in really hard cases. You know, the toughest of the tough. Yeah, I did tell the government the only way that they get paid is through me paying taxes. And that's what I meant. I mean, they may have won the lawsuit, everything else, but, you know, I'm not going to have them get the money faster than what they normally would. And they can come after me all they want. They've already told me in jail, everything else. So, you know, what else are they going to do? Craziest thing I've done undercover. Well, I did say I was gay, and I wasn't, and that was just an awkward situation. I mean, I had to join a throuple, if you know what that is, and you know, it was just hard. I mean, if I was wired that way, it probably would have been a great time, but apparently this guy was really into drifters, and I happen to look like one, so you know, they got other people that could have done it, but they thought nobody could pull it off more naturally than me. And yeah, that whole situation. I mean, I'm not going to say I understand the gay plight. I'm going to say the things I've done for this country, I should get a medal. The thing that got me started undercover is once I started training and all that, they realized I was lying to them all the time. And I mean, they realized pretty easily because they weren't good lies, but they said that they liked my initiative and that this is something that could be used going forward. And apparently they were right. I've never been that good of a liar, but I lied all the time. And because of that, people either took everything I said with a grain of salt or they believed everything. If they took it with a grain of salt, then I avoided them. I mean, that's all it was. Yeah, I do have a radio program in North Korea, and you think that a guy from this part of the world just wouldn't have been to, first of all, have a show there, second of all, be the number one show in that country. And it's called Who's the Leader and Why Do We Need Him? And apparently, they don't understand sarcasm. So, yeah, it's just number one show. I've been part of floats. I've seen multiple. Now, they usually don't allow tattoos, but tattoos of my face, of my slogans. It just, you know, we all got to do something once our career ends, especially nowadays. It's harder for everybody, so we got to make the money somehow. So yes, I have been married twice. The first marriage, well, really what ended it was she thought I was cheating when I got kidnapped by the CIA, and she filed for divorce. And that's alright. It's probably for the best because she was a blabbermouth. And not saying I'm not a blabbermouth too. I can definitely be a blabbermouth, but that's not the kind of person you want to be married to while you are doing all these things. And if you tell her one thing, everyone's gonna know. She has a blog, and it's just gonna be a big mess. So probably end up for the best. Yes, I am a snitch. I'm not gonna say I'm not. I snitched on myself. I didn't snitch on anybody else, even though I didn't name a bunch of names. It's just telling my experience, and if they happen to get in trouble for what I said, that's on them. But I snitched on myself. I didn't snitch on anybody that didn't deserve it. It was just me, and all those other people that got in trouble and are doing time and say it's because of me. They need to look at their actions, not my actions. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I did put a small group together and try to secede from the U.S. And honestly, there's plenty of reasons that I did it. First of all, they wanted to put me back in jail. Second of all, I thought that I could run things pretty well. I mean, they let me run the CIA and the FBI and all that. At one point, they even offered me the spot of, a bunch of different spots, but Uncle Sam, they offered me that a time or two. And I just thought it was kind of beneath me with everything I was already doing. It would be kind of a step down. So, yeah. But I did succeed, and well, I'm trying to. In my opinion, I have, and you know, that's good enough. We don't have a lot of people. We have about six. It's a small country, but it's a strong country, and all of us have high up positions, so we don't have any peasants or anything like that in our organization or in our country. So we're already doing better than a lot of places, but nobody wants to bring that up. Well, a presidente or king. A presidente, not because we're trying to be Spanish or whatever, or Spanish speaking, but it's just cool sounding. And king, well, you already know what that is. So yeah, those are the two things. Either one. Oh yeah, my country does not extradite, so the fact that the U.S. wants to put me in jail again and all this other stuff, well, they're gonna have to get me first, and they won't be able to get me because my country won't send me out of here. All right. Let's see. How many more are left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I can get through them. Well, yeah, I do use stuff that I learned from working for the government. There's a lot of stuff that I learned, to be honest, that I reuse, and that is, first of all, never give your real name. Secondly, always run out on the check. I mean, you only have so much money. It's not like they're giving you a bunch. And yeah, you could pay for a meal and give somebody a tip and everything else. Well, tips are only really valid in America. But yeah, you can do all that. Or you can go get a free meal and then have the rest of the money that you came in with. And That's really, I mean, it's not that they're horrible people. It's just the government's stingy. What can I say? One sheet down. Okay. Yeah, my political affiliation has changed since I've worked for the government, and a lot of people say, well, it's not going to change, you're still going to think the same things, and you really like to think so, but nowadays, I'm not really with a party, I'm with my own party, and that party is the one that doesn't stop, so, yeah, our country always has cocaine, so the party never stops. Now, we lost a few people. We started out with 15. We're down to 6. But even with that, I think it's a strong 6. You know what I'm saying? So Amsterdam might be a place where you can basically do what you want. But in my country, you can do whatever you want and we don't judge. Yeah, I'm not going to say who, but yeah, one of the presidents did actually like to have private, meetings in the bath. So you'd take a bath with him. Apparently, he never had a tub that big. It was a small tub. I mean, whenever I had a meeting in there, it was, of course, I was wearing a swimsuit and everything else. And I had all the papers laminated because we tried it the first time. But sometimes he'd like to do bubble baths and he'd like to squirt you with water and stuff like that. It was just a big hassle. I mean, it was a hassle when they were laminated. Afterwards, it actually became a little bit more fun. And, it's just a weird story, weird situation. But honestly, it's not as bad of a time as what you think. And a lot of people say they want to be close to their boss. You can't be too much closer than that because only one of us was, wearing a swimsuit, and that always happened to be me. That it was kind of off-putting, but what are you going to do? It's the leader of the country. So, what was my specialty? It was disguise. Now, I never really wore one, but I was always disguised because nobody would ever say that they knew me. So, it's not necessarily something that's tough. Some people think, oh, you need a bunch of prosthetics. Nah, you just need to act in a way where people say, no, I don't know the guy, and you can get away with pretty much everything there. Sometimes you need people to say you know, but usually that's through blackmail. Not always. Yeah, my cover has been blown a few times, but that's mainly because I got tired of playing the role. I thought I could do better, and I give my real name and my real credentials, and sometimes that would work, but sometimes it didn't, and they just try to fight me or kill me or whatever the deal was, and that's fine. I get it. That's their job. That's what they're supposed to do. But at the same time, you know, their cover could have been blown too, and I wouldn't have done all that. I understand. It's tough. People say actors have it rough. Not as much as a CIA guy. If you do bad at acting in a play, you might get a battery thrown at you. If I do bad, I might get hooked up to a car battery. So it's a completely different thing. But yeah, it has been blown. Well, the CIA, yeah, it does recruit different. I think now they mainly use Yellowstone, that TV show, but sometimes they will just go around and ask people, like, hey, you want to be in the CIA? How about you? It's not that they're desperate. It's just that a lot of people don't even know that it's an option and they don't do a lot of commercials for it. So just a lot of street work. I mean, sometimes they'll go door to door asking people, knocking like they're Jehovah's Witnesses. And I think that's as many questions as I'm going to do. So with this, what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to upload this whole thing. And then tonight I'm going to edit. And it's probably going to be up tomorrow. So, don't want all this water sound going in the actual movie. So that's why I'm doing it this way. But I got about a half hour. I can space, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in I'm going to look up some stuff, some free, footage that I can use legally. to throw in while I'm talking and different things like that. Video overlays. I might add a little bit more audio as well, or video, but I'm going to try to do it just based off of what I have recorded because I can get kind of a narrative going with that. There you go. So,